Hey Legend Crew, welcome back to another episode of Legend Ethics Shared Dreams. This is Glenn Asuncion, aka Honu. We've been friends for a few years and he's an amazing dude. He's a universal performer, if we can put it that way. He's very talented and has been going into many different avenues in the performance arena. So let's let Glenn take it over and say where he's from and everything like that.
First of all, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
My name's Glenn Asuncion Honu, also known as Honu. I'm a proud son of Hawaii, born and raised.
Very cool.
I moved out here a few years ago, to pursue my acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so, you have a lot of the tribal tattoos. Did you get those in Hawaii?
All this work was actually done in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like almost like half my body.
Are you serious?
So it took like at least 8 years of tattooing.
Wow.
I do piece by piece.
Okay.
So like whenever there's like something that I want to put in my body, something good that happened or bad,
those small memories to cherish.
Absolutely, yeah.
And each one has a story behind it, right?
Absolutely.
So each one is very unique to each person that gets them.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's very cool.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to become a performer? Because like I said, you do music and acting, but what inspired you to go into that?
Growing up in high school, I was that odd kid, I was small, skinny, quiet, scared, so it was a little rough growing up, I know we grew up in paradise, but at the same time, it's like everywhere else, and just like at night, all I wanted to do was go home and watch TV. And Jay Leno actually.
Oh, okay.
So
very cool.
Watching Jay, and like my eyes getting glued to the screen daily, it kind of like inspired me. Like, I would see like a actor here, a musician here, athlete here, and I'm like thinking in my head like, these people can do it. Why can't I do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyways, that kind of like gave me confidence, and I started like looking around. Okay, they could do this, they could do this. So I started like learning how to play music, so I picked up the ukulele, started playing the ukulele. I started DJing.
Wow.
I even started dancing.
Wow.
And just one day, my neighbor, she's a model and an actress, right? And she asked me, "You ever thought of modeling or acting?"
Yeah.
I go, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I just thought about it, And she goes, "I think you'd be good for this agency."
Yeah.
And then this one day I had some money laying around from work, I saved up, and that money was supposed to go towards my car. I was gonna paint my car. Yellow was my favorite color back then. I had a Honda Civic. I always wanted yellow for some reason, and it was either painting the car or checking out this agency and like investing money for classes and stuff like that. So why not? So I actually went to the agency.
Wow.
And it was John Robert Powers.
Okay.
It's a modeling acting agency.
Okay.
And I went in there and I spoke to Wilda, and she told me about stuff, and she told me that this would be good for you, and it's gonna give you a confidence, stuff like that. And so why not,
It's a big step.
So that was basically the breaking point where that kind of like got me started.
Okay.
In acting,
Very cool.
And then things from there, like after signing up with them, I just got boosted confidence.
Yeah. Well, because you've been in a lot of projects. I know that. You've been in a lot of projects where I remember a few years ago when we were living in Westwood, or at least I was. I was living in Westwood with a few friends, and we were watching Sons of Anarchy, and we saw you in there, and we also saw you in a couple of commercials as well. You're getting work out there, which is awesome. That's very cool.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
So you had no experience whatsoever before that first jump, right?
Yeah. In Hawaii, during while I was like pursuing taking those classes and stuff like that, I kind of like was training already.
Oh, okay.
I started developing like DJing skills and playing music and trying to work with the tourist industry, try to get familiar with being around crowds.
Yeah.
And then I just made my leap. So why not move to California?
Yeah, because it is different. In front of those crowds.
Yeah.
It takes a certain nerve to be able to handle that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what has been one of your biggest obstacles then? Coming out here.
Wow, there's a lot actually. You know, first of all, living in Los Angeles, like it's a challenge. Like
Absolutely.
making that move, you know, coming from Hawaii to here, and it's expensive in LA. You know,
Absolutely.
so you have to, you know, you gotta make ends meet. Well, like after like taking those classes in Hawaii and learning all this stuff, it kind of like gave me a lot of confidence. So when I moved out here, I was very lucky. I moved in with family. I had instant support.
That's nice. That's good.
You know, and like what I said, I came in here all happy and, you know, not knowing much. All of a sudden, I just booked my first agency.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the first.
And that's not easy. Finding representation right away. It's not easy.
Yeah, I just got, like, you know, like what I said, I was very lucky. I got here, I got the agent. It was the Crawford agency.
Okay.
My first audition, I went out. And, you know, like, I was excited, you know, like, like this confidence going. So I went there, and there's like hundreds of people in line, right? And they don't tell you what this project is for. You know, you have to sign a waiver saying, you know, we're not allowed to talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm like looking, okay. So anyways, the following night, I think, I got the call. Hey, you booked the job. It's for Britney Spears.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Jeez. First audition.
It was for Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. It's a music video.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
But like things like that. But then just like the obstacles basically is I've noticed that in LA that if you want to make it, you gotta be happy.
Yeah.
And you gotta do things you love, because if you
Absolutely.
you know if you don't do those things, it's gonna like put you in a slump.
It is.
You know, you start thinking negative, and then you gotta spiral down the
Yeah.
hole, and the next thing you know, you're gonna be doing a job where, you know, you don't want to do it, but then luckily you have those jobs, you know. And like being in LA, we take all these odd jobs.
Absolutely. I mean, you have
Yeah.
to. I mean, to be able to support your dream. But,
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, we do work together. I think I mentioned it earlier. We do work together, and there are times when I come into work and I see Glenn, and it's sometimes. I mean, I use you as a sounding board and kind of express my feelings to you.
Yeah.
And like, God damn. I mean, I'm having a hard time doing this. Having a hard time doing this. Because I mean, there's always gonna be obstacles. I mean, trying to work with your representation, trying to get auditions, even working on the Legend Ethics stuff. I mean, trying to get new products out there, trying to get episodes out there, just everything like that. And it's sometimes it can be very draining. I mean, physically and emotionally draining. I mean, it's a lot to do.
It's a lot.
So I mean, when I reach out to you, I mean, that's one thing that Glenn's always been very consistent with, is he has that smile on his face, and he's telling me to. I mean, there's always a way to figure it out, as I mentioned in other episodes, and it's that positive attitude that I so appreciate about Glenn. I mean,
thanks, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, he like I said, I mean, there's that smile right there. That's the smile that whenever I picture Glenn, it's that positive outlook right there that I always imagine when I picture Glenn. And so I mean, he's always a very positive support, because I mean, he has more experience, a lot more experience than I do with my acting career and such. So no, you do. Yeah. So when I ask you questions about it, I ask you like, how can I do this? How can I do that? You always come back with very helpful feedback. So I always appreciate.
Well, I love sharing that stuff with you, because, you know, I've been through it and I know how it is, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I had that guidance too before, you know.
Yeah.
And just like going back to like, you gotta do things you love. And
absolutely,
I was very lucky to land. I started playing music, you know, and I got into a band, and we started getting paid instantly, you know. And it's not that easy getting paid in LA to play music, you know.
Not at all.
I did that. I started working as a polynesian performer, and that was a really, really cool job, man. I mean, you know, I'm still doing it to this day.
That's awesome.
You know, you ever been to a luau? Like in Hawaii?
No, I haven't.
With the drumming, the fire.
I got to. I absolutely have to, though. I haven't.
Yeah.
No.
So, but doing stuff like that, you know, like those kind of gigs, it feels home to me, because it's Hawaii first of all. So it's like second nature doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and at the same time, when you do something you love, it's gonna resonate with everything else you do.
Absolutely. It's this energy that kind of permeates.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Also, like the obstacles is sometimes you gotta take, even though the job doesn't pay much, or, you know, but if it's something you love doing, or it's something that inspired you. Like for instance, I started doing concert photography, you know, a few years back, and I just picked up the camera one day, started shooting, you know, and since playing music, I kind of got the feel of, you know, being on stage, so I kind of like got used to the camera taking pictures and bringing them to life. And I got asked to go on tour, my first national tour with this national act, Tomorrow's Bad Seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like one of the best like time of my life. That's like one of the highlights.
That's awesome.
You know, so that was really cool. And I've learned that like at the same time, like when you're out there, like for some reason, like there's always like the answer is always in front of your face, but a lot of times we don't give it a chance. Like we don't like pay attention to it, you know. And like throughout these years, like doing all these like jobs and stuff like that, you always meet that person or a couple, people down the road, and then you have them in your life, even though you don't talk to them anymore. But then when things are going rough, you always think back. I remember what he said,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that kind of like helped me get through.
I love that.
Like times in like some tough times.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's why I love doing these episodes, because rewatching them, you hear these different words of wisdom from each of these guest stars, and it's priceless, absolutely priceless, just because it's unique advice. Some of them are similar in believe in yourself, endure the hard times and such, but it's all brought by their personal experiences and their personal hardships. And that's what makes it resonate even more. I'm getting goosebumps right now. If you can see that, I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about that. It's amazing. It's priceless. So I appreciate you sharing that. So what would be a tip that you can give the viewers in terms of chasing their dreams? Not necessarily performers or whichever, but a tip that any dreamer can use and follow while chasing their dreams.
First of all, you gotta be kind, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if you're not, if you be kind to people and you be nice, you get it back, and you be happy. And always, I think, staying positive. I know a lot of times, we struggle and we fall into this negative feel, and like this slump, and then things start going bad and stuff like that. But the moment that happened, you gotta find ways to climb out, and
Absolutely.
just do what it takes, man. For me, what helped me a lot was I started listening to podcasts, like inspirational stuff. So when things are like getting really bad, you start listening to that, and then I get inspired.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
change your mindset, and your entire life changes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's not. There's a difference between having a positive mindset and just. Having a positive mindset alone is not going to do it.
Right.
You have to also get out there and get it done.
Absolutely.
Because just thinking about it, that's inactive. There's no action behind it.
Yeah.
And so that's amazing that you're teaching yourself how to play music. You're going out to these auditions. You're working on different skills, because as actors, we are the product.
Yes.
We're the product. We have to sell ourselves.
Absolutely.
How can we make ourselves better as the product?
Right.
So it's amazing. You have to be proactive.
That's what
to make yourself a better product to sell.
You need to be proactive. That's the only way. You gotta put yourself out there. There is time. I get extreme highs and extreme lows. And sometimes during my lows, there could be like a year with no work, or 2 years. And at the same time, I realized the moment you start like thinking positive and start like putting yourself out there, even just showing up to like a event.
Yeah.
Or like just taking an acting class, or like you check your email. Oh, I auditioned today. Really, it's been a long time.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah, and then like wow, you get inspired again. Like I'm on a winning streak.
Absolutely.
Like you start doing. You
gotta ride the waves.
Ride the waves.
It comes and goes, but you gotta ride those waves.
Yeah.
And actually, it was funny. Last night, I saw this video on Instagram. It was these two balls on a wooden track. One of the tracks was a smooth track, and it comes back. One of them had bumps along the way. And when you release the balls at the same time, the one that has the waves actually gets there and back faster. So you have to ride the waves, the ups and downs. You have to endure the ups and the downs. It's not going to be smooth sailing. It's like that quote. What is that quote? It's like a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor, or something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because you have to endure the ups and downs to get where you want to go. And it was a perfect example of, chasing your dreams, because it's not always going to be this. It's not always going to be this. So
you gotta
endurance.
You gotta suffer, man. That's the only way you get no pain. Like we said, no pain, no gain.
Absolutely. And that's one thing I learned with, going through my acting career, because I'm like, I think almost 6 years into pursuing my acting career. First starting off, before I'd even come to LA,
Right.
I'd never realized how much of an endurance act it is. You know,
Yeah.
very much so an endurance. There's this one actor, I don't remember his name, but he went to Ivana Chubbuck Acting Studio and started with Ivana. And it was right before he landed a big role. He was about to quit acting. He was like, screw this, I'm done, I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
But that's the thing, is the endurance.
Yeah.
You know, because you never know what's gonna be right around that corner sometimes.
You have good endurance, man. Since I've known you, you know what I mean? You're always like, you're always hype, you know, and also I noticed that you always got like a lot of stuff lined up, which is good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
you're a
gotta
go-getter.
I gotta stay busy, and I hate being inactive. If I'm just sitting around, it feels like I'm being complacent. You know, it's just, it dulls the mind, and I have to be active. I have to be active to be, I mean, helping my career in one asset or another. One way or another, what I'm gonna try and do is be proactive in my career. I mean, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit around and wait for it to happen, because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. People have to get that through their minds. It is not gonna happen
That's true,
if you
man.
just sit there and wait for it. It is not.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no secrets to success, but there is one fact. It's not gonna happen by itself. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, you gotta be proactive, as we said.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, but before we wrap up this episode, what would be any final thoughts or anything that you'd like to share? I know you want to share about your tattoo. I mean, I want to hear about that.
I can tell you a little bit. Yeah. So when you look at this ink is basically, it's a Polynesian ink. You know, it's from this one is from Tahiti actually. It's a Tahitian tattoo. I picked that pattern because for Manea dancers, when I started dancing with them, you know, we specialize in Samoan, Hawaiian, Tahitian, and all that stuff. And Tahitian kind of like was my favorite dances, you know, so that's why I picked that pattern. So I can tell you something from here to here real quick.
Okay.
A lot of these, like what I said, it took about 8 years getting tattooed. You know, it's like
That's
piece by
insane.
piece, and now it's like one big entire piece.
That's
basically.
crazy.
They all connect, you know.
That's awesome.
So okay, so right here, basically, this is my past, my present, and my future. Okay.
Okay.
In my past year, I don't know if I ever told you I was engaged.
Oh no, don't remember.
You know,
No.
I was engaged years ago. These like the in love symbols right here. And then, you know, we were engaged for about almost a year, you know, and when we broke up, you know, fell to a negative slump basically, you know, my life went spiraling down the hole. You see this part?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically
cool.
that's what it is, okay? My present here is Manea dancers. Remember that Polynesian group that I work with?
Yeah.
You know, I started off playing the drum with them. It's called Tuweta drum.
Okay.
You know, and this is the drum right here. The drum.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
It. Yeah.
And when you play the Tuweta, there's a beat in every song. It's called Mapoko.
Okay.
Yeah, the beat goes. That's the song
awesome.
basically, you know. So if you're a really good drummer, you could hear that beat in every song.
That's
you know, it's either in
awesome.
the beginning of the song, the middle, or at the end. You're gonna hear that. Okay.
That's awesome.
The future here is the mo'o. It's like a Hawaiian lizard, a Hawaiian gecko.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if you ever. I don't know if we have it here in California. It's a grayly brown lizard. They call it geckos. They
Okay.
make the go. You
Okay.
know, it's like that. That's what it is basically. Can you see it? The head, the two front legs, the body, the two back legs, the tail.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
Huh?
very cool. Yeah, I see that.
Okay, but that brings good luck, you know, for my future. And,
Okay.
remember I told you that I was engaged back then. My fiance at the time, she believed in fairies, angels, fairy dust, and all. You know, like how women have like butterfly tattoos.
Yeah.
And in their room, all they have like wings everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You know, even though we're not together, or we're not going to be together in the future, but just her knowledge, what she taught me, how to like live in Los Angeles, kind of like she helped me a lot, you know.
Absolutely.
So, you see the lizard, you see the wings?
Yeah.
There's wings on it.
Okay, I see
You
that right
see it?
there. Right.
So basically, like her knowledge is kind of like part of my future because she kind of like taught me
Wow.
how to like live.
Wow.
You know, yeah. So, like what I said, when you meet the right people, sometimes and
Yeah.
they're not in your life anymore. You know, they help. It
Well,
helps you.
Everything's a life lesson.
Yeah.
Every experience is a life lesson. Yeah, that's awesome.
You see, so my stage name Honu, which means
Okay.
Hawaiian sea turtle.
Okay.
You see the turtle?
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, so that's me. Okay. My girlfriend, that we've been together for quite a while now. In my life, like she's like my partner. Like she helped me through good and bad times, like my support and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is her right here.
Okay.
You see the triangle?
Yeah.
That's her name basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lindsay. Lindsay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's like, Honu and Lindsay.
That's really cool.
You see this?
Yeah.
That's basically shark teeth.
Okay.
Okay. Cause, me personally, I'm not like aggressive,
Not at all.
I'm not that kind of guy, but a lot of times in the entertainment world, you need to be aggressive because you don't want people like taking control of your career or
Absolutely.
telling you what to do and you don't
Absolutely.
step up, right? So
Yeah.
basically, this is like a reminder, basically saying, hey, if you don't step up, I'm gonna bite you in the ass. You see the shark?
I love that.
This is me, right? That's my
Yeah.
ass, so I'm gonna bite you in the ass, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, so you better step up, dude.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and then you see this the fade.
Yeah.
That's water.
Okay.
When you see a turtle in the water, like a sea turtle, it's relaxing, right? It's going with the flow. That's me going with my flow.
That's
the
so
direction.
awesome. Wow.
Yeah. And it's like past, present, future. The past is closer to my heart. The future is closer to my hand. I can grab onto it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's like part
amazing.
of it, but it goes on and on and on, But
That's
we'll talk
amazing.
about that next time. But
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's why I
we'll
really
have to do another episode of just the tattoos and explaining all the stories behind it. That'll be awesome. That's amazing how it all links together like that. I mean, there's every piece of the puzzle that fits together.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy? In Polynesian art, everything's done freehand. Okay, so when you go in, I went in not knowing how my tattoo is gonna turn out. So what you do is when you go in, you talk to the artist, right? And you collaborate with the artist. So basically what they're doing is you're telling him your story, and at the same time he has multiple, I think he has 3 Sharpies, I don't know how exactly it works, but he has like 3 different colors. And so you're talking a story. You're like looking, he's like scribbling. It's like feeling out your body and feeling your energy. When I went in, my tattoo artist was doing that, asking me questions, and
Wow.
he felt my pain,
Yeah.
So basically, so I told him like what I'm going through. At the same time, he's putting down like symbols, Tahitian symbols, and it interprets with my story. So at the end, I'm like looking at it right before I'm about to get blasted with the needle. I'm like looking, I can't really see anything because everything's all scribbled, But I trust him.
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in him because, man, this guy was recommended a B. I'm gonna trust because, I really strongly feel like, I'm doing the right thing, man.
Yeah.
I know it takes a lot of pain, but like seeing like his eyes while he's doing it, like kind of gave me comfort.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So at the end, you're like thinking, that's what it was, and then he told me the symbols basically of all the things.
That's very
And
cool.
when I told him the story, he's like, wow, how did the hell
Yeah.
that happen? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how do you know to put? I didn't tell him to put the wings on it.
That's
On
awesome.
the lizard, it just happened. It just appeared, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him to put the tuere drum. I mentioned that I play in a tuere,
That's awesome.
and I didn't mention all that stuff. Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's crazy, right?
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
And the funny thing is, this triangles. When we got, I wasn't with Lindsay at the time. It just appeared.
Wow.
That's her.
Wow, brother. It's freaking awesome.
Sorry, man.
No, not at all. That's very awesome. That's awesome.
But
man.
that's this, man.
That's powerful.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
That's very awesome. I mean, it's a part of you for sure. And like you said, it came in on the part of your arm that's coming into the present and part of you. That's so awesome. And I love that it's right next to the Honu.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's part of your present where you're reaching out towards. So, I mean, that's awesome. Thank you very much for sharing. That's amazing.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. And I mean, what a special guest star Glenn is. I mean, I've been wanting to do this episode for a while, and we've been talking about it at work for a little while. And so, I mean, thank you very much for being on this episode. I appreciate it so very much. It's such a very special episode.
Thanks, man.
I mean, you have a lot to share, a lot of knowledge to share, a lot of life experiences to share. So I'm definitely have to do another episode at some point with Glenn, aka Honu over here. It's a lot to share, a lot of life experiences to share, and he's recorded it. I mean, he can recall it like that, and he has lessons that he's learned from those life experiences. So what a special guest star. Thank you very much, Glenn. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, guys, be sure to like and subscribe to Legend Ethics on YouTube. I mean, you're going to hear from amazing guest stars such as Glenn over here, and amazing, very personal and unique stories and words of wisdom shared by these guest stars. I mean, just priceless information that I love hearing and sharing. It's truly amazing. Like I said, I get goosebumps whenever I do these episodes. And be sure to check out legendethics.com. I got some new apparel on there, and I share the stories on there as well in the blog post, so be sure to check that out. And Glenn, I'm going to be taking some photos and some videos of him playing his instruments. He brought his ukulele and his drum. So in the description below, I will be listing some of his SoundCloud songs as well that he's done, and because I know, like you said, you do concerts and stuff like that. So if you've had any of those recorded, I'll put links in the description so you can check them out, and I'll post your Instagram as well so you can check out his acting career. He's been doing some big projects. You definitely have to check it out. And alrighty, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in for this episode of Legend Ethics Share Dreams. What a special episode. Again, thank you, Glenn. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
and
man.
Let's build the Legend crew, guys. Let's keep it going.
Thank you.